Do I look sexy, baby?
Where's my snare? I can't hear my snare. Have you ever been hated and discriminated against? I have.
All right, check it out. Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. Hey, I was just thinking after doing the Fitbit review yesterday. The Fitbit, for those of you that didn't see it, is the little thing on my wrist. I started thinking, and if you don't think like I don't start, because it really hurt. But I started thinking about, well, excuse me for living and breathing. I just saw a crotch rocket go by at Mach 7. It got me thinking about, holy crap, that guy. Can you just finish the sentence, dude? Just fucking finish your sentence. It got me thinking about our health status in a shit hit the fan scenario. How many of you have given that thought, serious thought? Let's talk about it. Okay, so a lot of, well, I don't know for sure because I haven't really worked out the numbers, but I think it's safe to assume that a fair number of us being those on my channel here, are not 22 years old anymore. Okay, I'm 52, and I know we got people older and substantially older and some that are substantially younger. But, you know, in this day of, you know, so many disabilities, we've got returning vets with you know, a plethora of disabilities, missing limbs, you know, traumatic brain injury, you name it. Could just be somebody with arthritis, whatever your problem is. And I mean that with all due respect, because Lord knows I got enough problems, physical problems. But have you thought about how they're going to affect your bug out or your bug in plan? I mean, it's pretty, if you really get down and give it some deep thought, there are some potential huge problems. And, you know, I've had to deal with this myself, just thinking of it. I don't want you to think this is the first time I thought of it. I've thought of it quite often, but it just occurred to me today to make a video. Let's just go down the list. Let's talk about medications. If you are let's say you're a diabetic, and you know, I know that requires insulin. I don't know a whole lot about it. I should, because it runs rampant in my family. But I believe insulin or certain types of insulin are required to be maintained at a certain temperature. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but whatever the case, if you're a diabetic, what will your insulin situation be? Or I assume you have a test kit to test your blood sugar levels. Is that something that is, you know, vital for you to have? And if so, do you have enough replacement parts, if that makes sense, for your testing kit? Medications that you require, blood pressure medications, you know, those things. Now, the obvious quick fix is to talk to your doctor and try not to sound like a nutcase, because a lot of people look at us preppers as total nutcases. But the obvious first thing to do would be to sit down with your doctor and say, hey, look, you know, you could clean it up a little and say, hey, I'm worried about a hurricane, or, you know, if I live in California, I'm thinking about these earthquakes or whatever. Adjust it to your region. And I'd like to have, 3 months or as many months ahead of time as you can give me of my prescriptions, so that in the event that a crisis occurs, you know, I'm not left hanging. I can tell you that when I was down in Hurricane Katrina down in New Orleans, that was a huge problem down there. People didn't have their medications. And another issue is the opioids, the pain medications. That is a how many miles do I have to go? That is a potential nightmare, because if you're using opioids to handle your chronic pain or whatever your injury is, and you've been using them for any length of time, I'm talking Vicodin, Norco, that kind of thing. Of course, when you stop using it, you not only have to deal with the severe pain, which is the reason you're taking it, but you're going to go through withdrawals, which means you're going to be down. You know, you're not going to have the ability to be traveling, let alone fighting off, you know, bands of marauders or whoever the fuck's coming for your family, because you're going to be strapped to the shitter like some freaking heroin addict going through withdrawals. And you're going to be cranky, and you're going to be in triple the pain you were in, and you're going to feel like you're dying. Jeez, it sounds like I've been there. Okay, so that's a problem. The other problem is people that are dependent on opioids. You know, a lot of it is recreational. People abuse that shit. That's why you've seen me talk about that before. That's why people that need it legitimately are getting screwed. But you got a lot of people that abuse it, and addiction is addiction, whether it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, if there is such a distinction. And there is nothing more dangerous than an addict in search of his fix. So can you imagine, with our population being so heavily medicated on everything from, ADHD medication to kids on Ritalin to, everybody taking, what's the Xanax and all the other shit that you hear about. Can you imagine the stress of a societal meltdown mixed in with, 2 or 3 million at least drug addicts running around looking for their shit? I mean, that could be very, very ugly. So you need to think about that. Now, there is no doctor on the face of the planet unless you go to Mexico, that's gonna prescribe to you a double prescription of these opioids, because they'll think you're selling them or whatever. So that's gonna be a problem. Okay, the medications aside, and I mean this with all due respect. Look, I'm overweight. It's very hard for me to lose weight. I mean, for one, I'm the lazy fuck. Let's just be honest. And for two, I can't lift weights anymore. I've got some injuries, man. I've got screws and rods and pins holding my neck, legs, and back together. So it's just very hard for me to, and I use it as an excuse often, and it works for me. Maybe somebody watching this video is, 5'6" and weighs 300 pounds and is really into the whole prepping thing. But have you, what the fuck is in my mouth? Don't say what you're thinking, because I don't go that way. That would be such an insult for you to even suggest such a thing. Listen, you may understand prepping and have a whole cool plan and all the supplies, and from here up have your shit together. But if from here down you can't fucking walk more than a half an inch an hour, you're combat ineffective, my friend. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. You're not going to be able to be there for your family, and if you live by yourself or you have a dog or a cat or a fucking hamster, you're not going to be able to be there for them, okay? So now is the time, if nothing else, if your doctor telling you you're going to drop dead of a heart attack and diabetes and all this other shit, if that's not helping you, God damn it, you need to get busy and start moving. Now, you do what you can with what you have, okay? So I can't lift weights and I can't do sit-ups and I can't get, but what I can do is I can walk. So I walk my fucking dogs at least once a day for a minimum of about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, but I do it as fast as I can. And I just got a treadmill, thanks Dad. And, I've been using that now, and my legs hurt like hell. They're stiff, and but it keeps my joints lubricated, yeah? And I'm losing weight, okay? And I use the Fitbit, whatever it takes, man. If you need to join Weight Watchers, or let's just say you're in decent shape, but you're just an old fuck like me, you've got to stay mobile I love that word because it sounds so much more interesting than mobile. So get your ass mobile so that you can keep your blood flow, stay healthy, because again, if you are suffering some chronic condition, or you're just a lazy fucking couch potato, and the lights go off and the water goes off and you got to relocate, man, you are going to fucking triple the stress that you're going to be under. And you're going to do it needlessly, because you could be in better shape. All of us could be in better shape. I don't give a fuck if you're a Navy SEAL or a fucking Green Beret watching this. You can always turn up the fucking dial just a little bit. And, listen to me, I'm all self-righteous because I got my Fitbit and I think I'm Johnny fucking exercise. Look, that's just an effect of the motivation. So don't make fun of it. Embrace it, man, and try to get some of that. Hopefully my motivation lasts longer than the drive home, right? Anyways, that's it, man. So think about shit hitting the fan. Think about prepping. But incorporate your medications and a true, honest evaluation of your medical condition and what you need to do. If you're a double amputee,
8.6 miles. Take ramp on right to Virginia.
If you're a double amputee sitting in a wheelchair, part of your bug out or bug in has got to incorporate that wheelchair into it. And I'm sure that's common sense, and I don't need to tell you that, but do you have the resources that you're going to need in order to get from point A to point B, or point A to point C if it comes down to it, yeah? So just
take ramp on right to Virginia.
So just think about that, and be honest with yourselves, And anybody that's got any ideas for people that are in a...
Keep left onto Virgin.
If you have ideas that might be helpful, or you just want to pipe in, by all means do so. I've been getting a lot of trolls lately, I notice. I don't know what that's all about, but I think...
Turn left on.
I have found that it seems to be easier to just you know, ignore them. You know, block them and ignore them. Sometimes I get in the mood to fuck with them, but they're so ignorant it's starting to irritate me. So anyways,
Drive 9.5 miles.
so for all you trolls out there, I brought something for you. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, and the rest of you guys, you know, hey, have a great holiday 3-day weekend, and yeah, man, be safe. LMS Tactical, I'm out.
Look at Charlie.
Oh crap, that's all the way out there.
That was a good little swim.
Yeah, you could hear him.
You're really working. Good boy, Charlie.